This is breaking news today. A Grant County resident tested presumptively positive for the coronavirus. According to the Grant County Health District, that person is in a hospital in Wenatchee right now in critical condition. The health district also confirmed that a second person underwent tests for the virus. However, those came back negative. Several healthcare workers involved in treating one of the patients right now in quarantine, again, as a precaution. That is happening in Grant County. Health officials are expected to release more information today, and we'll keep you up to date right here on KREM 2 News. Thanks for being with us at noon hour. I'm Laura Papetti. Jen York is on assignment today. In eastern Washington, residents are also being tested in Stevens County and Spokane County. The Spokane County resident is a member of the Gonzaga community, but the school didn't say if they were a student or staff member. We don't know when we can expect those results just yet. The resident in Stevens County prompted the Colville School District to close for 3 days. The district used that time to deep clean their facilities. Now, the King County Health District revealed today that there are 70 positive cases. This is both in King and Snohomish counties, including 10 cases that they are working on right now. The number is rising, I should say, from 39 cases yesterday, but there are no new deaths. At last confirmation, 10 deaths related over on the west side to coronavirus. Most of the cases really connected to a possible outbreak at Life Care Center Nursing Home, which is located in Kirkland. King County health officials say they expect the number of cases to rise as more and more people are tested.
We should have their backs. It's the right thing to do. So our protection will include coverage for medical testing.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee said today that the state's Department of Labor and Industries is working to compensate those who cannot work amid the coronavirus outbreak. This includes healthcare workers and first responders who are quarantined or who have tested positive. Inslee said the state's insurance commissioner is issuing an emergency order to health providers. It will waive co-pays for anyone requiring testing or treatment for the virus. The order applies until May 4th. Governor Inslee said the state of Washington will also cover the cost of care for uninsured patients. So taking a look now nationwide, there are now 12 states with positive cases of the coronavirus. There are 2 states, both Tennessee and Texas, where there are some presumptive positives. That means the patients have tested positive by state standards, but they have not been tested by the CDC. There are 11 total deaths, again, nationwide, many of those located on the western side of Washington. The majority of those fatalities are again in the state of Washington. However, one is from California. Coming in new at noon, police in Idaho and the FBI are now asking visitors of Yellowstone National Park to assist in the search for 2 missing children. An investigation determined that 7-year-old J.J. Vallow and 17-year-old Tylee Ryan were last seen in Yellowstone back on September 8th. They were with their mother, Lori Vallow, and their uncle. Authorities are searching for photos and videos of their vehicle, its occupants, or any other photos of that group. The FBI has also created a website for visitors to upload photos and videos. And on that case, tomorrow Lori Vallow will face a judge in her home state of Idaho. Jonathan Vigliotti reports from Rexburg, Idaho.
Lori Vallow appeared before a Hawaii judge for the last time Wednesday before being extradited to Idaho. She's facing several charges, including 2 counts of felony abandonment in the disappearance of her children, Tylee Ryan and Joshua J.J. Vallow.
This is the first step in the courthouse in Idaho, which will trigger a cascading series of events in the legal process.
Vallow could face up to 14 years in prison for each count of desertion of a child. Her Idaho attorneys have filed routine court documents asking the judge to reduce her bond and requesting documents and evidence from the prosecution.
Just tell people what's happening.
I have no doubt that Lori Vallow would love to know what the FBI and any other agency is doing in this investigation. So what's the easiest way to do that? File a motion for discovery and see if you can get everything.
JJ's grandmother, Kay Woodcock, is in Idaho for the hearing.
I have total 100% belief that it's going to happen. She's going to be held accountable 100% for everything.
Attorneys for Lori's adult niece, Melanie Pulowski, who's also faced questions about the children's whereabouts, say she is now cooperating with FBI investigators and has surrendered her computer. In addition to the case of the missing children, 3 mysterious deaths surround Vallow and her current husband, Chad Daybell, including Vallow's previous husband, Charles Vallow, her brother, Alex Cox, and Chad's previous wife, Tammy.
The government may want to use this case in order to get them to fess up some information about all of those other suspicious deaths.
And sources tell us investigators are now looking into a trove of digital evidence which could show a possible network of foul play. Alex Cox killed his brother-in-law. It is now believed he could be linked to the death of Tammy Daybell. Cox died in December before he could be interviewed. Jonathan Bigliotti, CBS News, Rexburg, Idaho.
All right, it is 5 minutes past noon right now. We're going to take a moment, send it on over to Evan Narani, who's in the Weather Center, already talking about the weather as we head toward the weekend.
Good morning, or good afternoon now, I should say, Laura. As we head into your afternoon and evening hours, we're going to start to see those temperatures really hit their peak today, which will be warmer than we've seen them throughout this week. Peak temperatures today are in the upper 50s, near 60 degrees off towards central Washington. Looks like some spots of North Idaho and western Montana could linger in about the mid-40s, but for Spokane, we're looking at 58 as that afternoon high, 45 degrees by 9 p.m. tonight, and then cooling down to the 30s as your overnight lows. Was quite windy yesterday. Winds have calmed down generally. We're seeing single-digit wind speeds, 7-mile-per-hour winds in Spokane, 8 in Coeur d'Alene, and 4 in Ritzville. Down in Pullman, only spot, or just along with Omak, spots on the map where we're seeing double-digit wind speeds. So what do we see in the future? Well, as I mentioned, it is dry for today. Partly cloudy conditions out there persist, but changes come relatively quickly. Notice how that band of showers just moves farther in from the north of us. Widespread rain showers are expected as of Friday night. By Saturday morning, they look to be transforming into snow showers because those temperatures are going to cool down quite a bit. Does that mean we'll see accumulating snow here in Spokane? Well, chances are pretty slim of it. We'll talk in more detail about what we can expect headed into your Saturday and Sunday. Details are in just a few minutes, Laura.
All right, my friend, thank you. It is 7 minutes past noon right now. Today, Elizabeth Warren has dropped out of the presidential race. Warren was once a top contender for the Democratic nomination. It is not yet clear whether she plans to endorse either of the remaining top candidates, Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden. So this week has marked some of the biggest shifts so far in the 2020 election season. Some campaigns were revived, others fizzled out over just a matter of days. And the delegate count continues changing this afternoon. According to NPR's delegate count, Joe Biden is in the lead, 603 delegates. He gained 588 of those in just the past few days. Bernie Sanders, solid second place, 538 delegates. He gained 493 of those on Super Tuesday. We will keep you updated as those numbers keep coming in. Joe Biden made a huge comeback on Super Tuesday, along with snagging the endorsements of all 3 candidates who suspended their campaign. Biden thanked Michael Bloomberg yesterday, the most recent ex-candidate to endorse him. He says his campaign is now open to everyone.
We welcome all those who want to join us. And this is a movement we are building. It is a movement, and we need that movement to beat Donald Trump.
And Biden is the assumed winner in Maine, but the Golden State is leaning toward Bernie Sanders.
My guess is that after California is thrown into the hopper, it's going to be pretty close.
Elizabeth Warren placed third in her home state and won just 51 delegates on Super Tuesday. Well, Washington State's primary is coming up quickly. There are only 5 days left to drop off your ballot. The deadline for online and mail-in registrations has already passed. So if you need to register to vote or update your address, you can do that in person at any county elections office until Tuesday, March 10th at 8 in the evening. You also have to drop off your ballot by 8 o'clock on Tuesday. After that, counties begin tallying votes. Votes are counted between the 10th and the 27th when the election will be certified by the Secretary of State. Idaho's primary is also on March 10th, and you can register for same-day voting there. The deadline to request an absentee ballot has already passed, so if you haven't done that yet, you will have to vote in person. This year, the Republican primary is closed, and that means only registered Republicans can vote in it. The Democratic primary is partially closed, which means you either have to be a registered Democrat or unaffiliated to vote in that primary. The Heroes welcome as Moses Lake Canine Officer Chief took his first steps out of the hospital just a few days after being shot pursuing a suspect. Chief was hit in the head and airlifted to Pullman. Miraculously, the bullet went through his left eye, shattering his jawbone. barely missing his brain. Today, he is back up on all four paws and back with his human handler.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. And so, again, so lucky we're by Pullman. Great care that you can receive, veterinarian care down there.
Yeah. And
Well
he looks
done.
to be back in action soon, hopefully.
Yeah, all right. So let's talk 12:10 right now. We're going to be looking at weather. Everybody is soaking up the sunshine.
Yeah, wondering if it'll stick around
Yep.
through the weekend, right? Right now,
Get your crystal ball out, mister.
yeah, I know, right? That's the test. We'll see how much people like me after the weekend. Looks like we will get a little bit of rain and snow headed into the weekend, but we'll talk about maybe the light at the end of the tunnel when we get back after this break. Stay with us.